What's up? What's up? I'm Liz Wilcox, and this is
Patricia.
Yay! Welcome to the second live stream of the show. We have yet to make a name for. I guess the email sound booth after hours or something like that. I don't know. That's not perfect yet, but that'll be what it is. So we are super excited. And I want to tell you first that this episode is sponsored by Listgadget. Listgadget.com. Skyrocket your email list engagement. It's a suite of tools that my buddy Pete and I have come up with. We're talking embeddable polls, feedback reactions, subscriber leaderboards. And right now, I know that Pete is working really, really hard on this email referral program. So I'm excited. Hey, Ma. Hey, Elle. Super excited you guys are here. And it's 50% off for lifetime for the first 1,000 subscribers. So we're almost at 100. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you scroll down, go to listgadget.com. There's me and Pete. And you can get it for just $9 a month. All right. We're really, really excited. That's listgadget.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. So what's up? Glad you guys are here. Thanks for hanging out. What are you guys doing on Friday? Well, Patricia's here. She's about to fly out. So I promise I won't ramble for an hour like I did last time, but we wanted to go live. We really want the show to be a success. So make sure you like and subscribe. And speaking of things we really want to be a success, obviously email marketing membership I'm standing behind it. It's like our number one priority, right? I literally look at it every day, to see if we're getting new members. And one thing that Patricia has been telling me for probably about a year is the platform we have it on right now is the platform ain't platforming, as the cool kids would say. So we announced yesterday that we are moving to Membership.io. We're really, really excited about it. Let me know if you got that announcement. I announced it on the podcast, on the YouTube channel, and email yesterday. That's how excited we are. And Patricia, tell me some of the really cool features or like the differences between what we've got right now and what we hope when we move to a Membership.io it's going to help with.
So currently, Liz is not on a membership. I mean, Lifter LMS is a membership platform almost, but we are actually going to a membership platform designed for memberships.
Yeah, so right now we're on WordPress and we just use a plugin for courses and memberships on WordPress. But as we grow, like I just showed you that in the background, that's like the road to 10,000 members. We want 10,000 members. And we had a meeting a couple weeks ago and it was like, okay, well, if we want to get from 4,000 to 10,000, what do we need to do? And really we discussed like, okay, what we're using right now isn't going to work for 10,000 people. So we're moving to a membership platform. So what are some of your favorite features? Because she's been playing around with it and watching demos and stuff.
My favorite feature is going to be the chat feature where you can ask questions. That's going to be a big deal because you guys have a lot of questions and they're really, really good questions. And Liz has so much content that will be able to answer those questions when you need them instead of waiting on us to get back into the inbox.
So it's a chat feature like with a bot or with me that I answer later?
It's a it's a bot feature. So you'll be able to get your question answered right away.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because a few months ago we were in talks with someone to create, I'm Liz Wilcox, so we were thinking like we want a Liz Will bot that, crawls through all the content on the membership and just answers your questions right away, so you don't have to wait for the Q&A or wait for me to answer because sometimes the inbox can get really overloaded. And so I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited. Okay, that's going to be awesome. Yes, Jessica says this is going to be great. It's going to be so freaking cool. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. What's another feature?
My favorite part is going to be that there's not going to be as many tech issues as we've had in the past. So we're really it is designed for a membership, and we're not going to be the only ones having to fix those issues if a tech issue were to come up. So you're going to have us, and you're going to have the membership IO team as well to help us with any glitches that might happen.
Yeah, because y'all, I know, because WordPress is constantly updating, which means the plugin has to keep up with WordPress. And so sometimes there's like, a couple days in between. So if you've ever tried to log in, you couldn't find your password, or it just didn't work right, or you logged in and things weren't clicking, this is all going to be solved by moving on to this more established platform. Mm-hmm. I just feel so blessed to finally get to a point where it's like, yes, this is in the budget, and that membership sites and platforms have caught up. Because 4.5 years ago when I started, they were charging, astronomical amounts for like the amount of members. And so now, we've told them like, oh, we want to have 10,000 members. And they're like, oh yeah, people like Amy Porterfield, Brock Johnson, etc. They use this and they have tens of thousands of subscribers and members. And I'm like, maybe I'm thinking too small here. So I'm really, 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 really excited. So let me know in the chat if you're already a part of EMM, because this is going to be big. Now, when is our deadline for this?
We're hoping by July. No later than July, honestly. But the sooner, it might come sooner. So,
yeah. Oh, Chris is in the house, one of our really founding members. So I'm so excited. He says, you're going to love it, Liz. That's what we are on. It took forever to find Membership IO, but we're so pleased. Yeah, okay, Chris, I'm going to have to talk to you because, well, maybe Patricia too, because I want it to look good. Like, I know when you log in, like, it's not the most beautiful experience. And for just full disclosure, and I think I talked about this in my podcast episode yesterday, like, for a long time, it was like, well, it's $9. Like, I'm doing my best, and the content is so effing good. But again, like, if we are going to go from 4,000 to 10,000, we need to keep the people. I mean, if our churn was even just half of what it is now, we would probably have 5, 6, maybe even 7,000 people in the membership already. But the churn is higher than I'd like. I was going to say high, but it still is below industry standard. Mm-hmm. It's at about 8%. I would say 6 to 8%, depending on the month. But that's still higher than I'd like it to be under 5% consistently. And I know that this is the way to go. And I know that when, back in the day, it was just like people would find Liz and join because of Liz. But now we have so many affiliates promoting that it's like, oh, let's say Chris or Jessica promotes, like, we are borrowing trust from Chris or Jessica. And if we don't, we want to take that trust more seriously, right? And it's like, okay, if our membership was a little easier to navigate and look at and felt like the rest of the internet, if that makes sense, then we're definitely going to, reduce churn, have better relationships with affiliates, make sure affiliates want to promote more because they know it is like top freaking tier. And then the $9 is just the, cherry on top.
Literally.
Yeah. Awesome. So Chris says the initial setup takes time. Yes. So that's what, it's going to take a minute. We started playing around with it, a week or two ago. Have we even officially signed up yet?
No.
No. Y'all, this was another reason to announce it so that we actually okay, our deadline's July. Let's tell everyone so everyone's expecting it. And we want to, like we're doing now, take you through the process. Mm-hmm. So really, really excited. Mm-hmm. Yay. Yes, makes it easy for them and for us. That's what I think LizWilcox.com is all about. And even EMM is making it really, really simple.
Yes.
So I'm really excited. Okay. So let's get into the fresh take of the day. Y'all, and this is, because this, here, let me just, okay, Patricia, you don't have to be in this segment. Have y'all ever seen Monsters Inc. when it's like the commercial and then Mike's in the middle and then it like puts the Monsters Inc. logo on the face? So the fresh take, if you're new here, and you probably are because this is a brand new show, is kind of where I share a little bit of email marketing news and give my take on it. So I was texting with my buddy Roberto Candelaria. I'm actually going to pull it up. And he was lamenting a little bit. Here we are texting. I don't know why. Like you're here in the room with me. But he said, just randomly, Apple AI is doing this to you too. One of my emails gets the real pretext and the other gets an AI synopsis. So, preview text, when you go to write, you put a subject line and you can put a little preview text. AI nowadays, especially on Apple, I think Apple is the first to roll it out. Google might be doing it too. I can't remember. Put in the chat if you remember. But he's saying, like, his first email gave the preview text that he wrote. Mm-hmm. And his second email did like a generative AI and just summed up the email for the user. And I said, why? To kill the planet? Why do we need this synopsis? And I said, this seems to be the way email is going, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So my big take from this is to make sure that your subject line really aligns with what is in the content, right? You don't want to make it so clickbaity that it's like, oh, what is this? But really more than that, and y'all, I preach this all the time, your from line is the most important. And this is becoming more true than ever. Like if you get an email from me, you should just be saying, oh, Liz Wilcox, open, right? And that's what we teach here. And that's what we teach inside EMM a lot of, like, every email's job is to get the next email opened, right? There are 3 email jobs. 1, get it seen, right? Land in the inbox or even promotions. Number 2, get it opened, right? And number 3, like, get the call to action, whether that's click on something, buy something, whatever, right? But really, like, get it opened. People often think of subject lines. How many questions do we, tell me about subject lines, Liz. Like, but really it's the from line. Like if I get something from Roberto, I'm just opening it because I know Roberto, I love his stuff. I probably wouldn't even notice that it was generative AI. The preview text is like, it is like on the bottom, like 1, 2, 3, it's like number 3. It's the third thing people are looking at, but they're looking at the from line first. So this just goes to show you have to be consistent with your email marketing. This is another giant reason to not ghost your list, right? You cannot ghost your list because if they're just looking at the generative AI, like this says generate new leads via lead magnets, workshops, and ads. I don't really want to read that.
It sounds like AI.
Really, what he wrote in his preview text is why your next dollar might come from someone you haven't met yet. That's intriguing, right? Mm-hmm. But again, like if I know Roberto, so I'm not really even looking at that. I'm clicking. But if I don't know Roberto, I'm looking at that stuff. Why wouldn't I know Roberto? Because he's ghosting me. He's not emailing consistently. The more you can email consistently, the more this generative AI stuff is going to be irrelevant to you, right? Now, I don't know what the future of AI is going to be, but I email very regularly, as you know, and Roberto said that my stuff didn't have any generative AI. So even his own email had AI, but mine didn't. So I don't know, but my theory is the more you email, the more the internet gods are going to say, oh, this person knows what they're doing. We don't need to mess with their emails because they're getting opened anyway. That's my theory.
What about this one with the unsubscribe?
Oh, yes. And my point, how I figured, she's so good. He sent me a screenshot of our girl Nicole. She owns Luxaloom. It's a luxury candle company, and she hadn't emailed in like a year or two. And so she's sending an email out saying, it's been a long time since I've done a newsletter. Hi, I'm Nicole, blah blah blah, right? But the AI literally just said it summarized her email as thanks for subscribing, and then it says unsubscribe option available. Again, my theory is that because she hadn't emailed in a long time, the internet gods are assuming, and AI is assuming, you don't give a you know what. So it's going to tell you, hey, if you click on this, you can unsubscribe. That is the scariest thing. Like, I would be so upset, right? The unsubscribe's at the bottom for a reason. It's the last thing I want you to look at, right? But this is right here in the, you don't even have to open it, and it's telling you you can unsubscribe. If you click on this, you can unsubscribe. Another reason not to ghost your freaking list, guys, because apparently AI is saying, hey girl, this is irrelevant, you might as well unsubscribe. Just open it and unsubscribe. Right? Yes. So Chris, by ghosting, I mean don't stop emailing, right? Email consistently on that weekly basis, right? If you're emailing even just monthly right now, depending on your business, you probably need to be emailing more than that, so the internet gods, so that AI has enough data on you. Really, if for nothing else, you need to be giving the internet data on you, and that's good. And the more you can send emails, the more data it's going to have, so it can filter out like, hey, this person kind of sucks, you don't even want their emails, do you? Right? That's what it's giving. That pretext is giving you, you probably don't want this, open it and unsubscribe. Right? Nandi, I feel the same way, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't. Oh, speaking of AI, I used AI for the first time last week.
How was it?
Honestly, I've been sleeping on it. I used this girl I did Survivor with. So I guess that's the end of that rant. I did Survivor with this girl named Jessica, and she is a web developer, software developer or something, and she helped create this app called Gamma. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gamma does presentations mainly. It does more stuff now, but it was to create presentations using AI. And I just put in my notes from Notion on what I wanted my presentation to be, like slide 1, 2. I did really like thorough, and it like legit just threw in other stuff, like other points.
Oh.
And I was like, oh yeah, that is a good point. I should mention that. And I was like, I just thought it was gonna put in my notes.
Yeah.
But apparently I could just tell it, and then it even has like the image feature. And so I was able to say like 90s animation style using these colors with this hex code, and it gave me 3 options. It was actually legit. Now, it claims it can do a presentation in 15 minutes. It still took me about 90 minutes, but of course that was my first time using it.
Yep.
And, I was getting a little nitpicky with the images, and, I was deleting stuff it was adding. Right? Because I was like, no, actually, that's not what I teach, or I teach it in a different way. So, but I could see how you could just create it way, way, way faster.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we are going to do our first podcast guest interview, which actually he couldn't make it live today, so we recorded a little earlier today. So with a guy named Zach, and we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook ads. So give me one moment while I figure out where to click. That's not it, guys. I thought I had that so smooth, y'all. One moment, please. This computer. Okay, Mr. Zachary, I am so excited to have you today for our open mic segment. And of course, we are going to talk about Facebook ads. But first, I would love to know, like, Who are you and why should we listen to you about Facebook ads
I
in the first
love
place?
it. Yeah, so my name is Zach Spuckler. We are a small Facebook and Instagram ads boutique agency under the brand name Heart, Soul, and Hustle. So we have managed launches from $0, like, very minimal ad spend, trying to get to that first 10K, up to people spending 50 to $100,000 on launches. So we have seen the very beginning, we have seen the very end. We also have a membership with about 400 people in it who tell us, here's what's wrong with my Facebook ads every single day. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. And so we just have this unique, intimate insight in the industry, from list building to launches to really anything you can think of with ads for online creators.
Okay, I'm sold. So, I'm sold on you, but maybe I'm not sold on Facebook ads quite yet. So,
Yeah.
tell me what your biggest argument for Facebook ads would be.
My biggest argument is, if we're really honest with ourselves, there's always the exception. I know someone's going to be listening to me and like, that's not me, but there's always the exception. Most people, if you're anything like me, like, I'm wildly inconsistent. And even when I'm consistent, I'm inconsistent. So here's the thing, like, we all say, like, I'm going to post on Instagram every day, or I'm going to post on Facebook every day, or I'm going to send an email to my list every week. I'm sure you hear that one a lot, Liz. It's
Amen.
like we all say we're going to do it, and then inevitably life happens. And it's no judgment. I think we all do it. I think you can be really successful at business being consistent. We say, like, on the whole, like, you don't have to be at 100% every day, but if you can just be at 1 or 2% every day and be at that 50 to 100% most days, it's totally fine. And I know I'm not going to post on Instagram and Facebook every day. So running an ad basically guarantees visibility, right? And we tell people you can't lose money on advertising because you're not paying for leads or sales or clicks. You're paying for visibility. And so it's a little tongue in cheek. I know, like, yeah, you could technically lose money, but when we think about it, I'm like, I'm paying to show up every single day in the Facebook news feed, the Instagram feed, because I'm not going to do it consistently enough to create sustainable results. And so we really rely heavily on ads. So if you're sitting here being like, I'm that person who says I'm going to post every day, I'm someone who every January, I'm like, this is our year. I'm going to post every day on Instagram for 30 days. And then January 6th rolls around. I'm like, oh, shoot, I missed yesterday. If you relate to that, Facebook and Instagram ads are like totally the play for you.
Yeah, I love that. And I will testify right now, in the last week or so, I have seen Zach everywhere. He is on my Instagram. He's on the sidebar of my Facebook. He's on my Facebook when I'm scrolling. I'm looking at someone's new Facebook profile, maybe a new friend, and I see him mid scroll there. So I wonder, Zach, what are you doing right now that is causing you to run all those ads?
Yes, so we're going into our Facebook and Instagram ads for list building bootcamp. That's like our big thing that we do once a quarter. I always say once a quarter, and then we do it 3 times a year, but fingers crossed, this is the year, 4 times a year. And it's basically, we teach you how to run list building ads, which is like the foundation of what we recommend. Whether you are like, I want to launch, or I want to sell, or even if you want to sell low ticket offers, I am a huge advocate of, like, grow your list all the time, because you
Amen.
just never know what's going to be happening with the latest trend on Instagram. Like, somebody just messaged me and was like, did you hear carousels are back in? And I was like, I literally don't care, because I'm just going to run an ad. No judgment. It's just how I feel. But it's like, no matter what, if you have that list and you're growing it all the time, like, to your point, I show up everywhere on advertising, but we're also, at the same token, all of the people who are seeing our ads, because we're really strategic with our ad targeting, are also getting emails from me. And so we kind of have this, like, right now, this slow burn, double down with email marketing, that is, people will open an email from us a few times a week, and then this is basically like the start of our promotion. We're everywhere, because when we get about 5 days out from our boot camp, like, then all the emails start to convert, all of the ads are retargeted, everybody's going to come by. So the short answer is we're running a boot camp. The long answer is it's this slow burn we've been building to for a quarter.
Yeah, I love that you are talking about, running ads for list building, for lead generation, because I teach email marketing and I'm like, well, if you're talking to the same 100 people, for the last 5 years, like it doesn't matter what you say, they're not interested, right? So you've got to be constantly growing the list. And that is why I'm so excited about your boot camp, because I know a lot of people like me, I've grown the list doing podcast episodes and interviews, and not everyone, that's not their forte. So I teach list building for your personality. So if your personality is more like Zach's, like I want to get off my computer, I know I'm not going to be consistent, I'll just let Meta do it for me. Like this boot camp is for you. So tell me, when is the boot camp running and who is the best fit for signing up?
Yeah, so the boot camp runs April 28th through May 2nd. The best fit is somebody who, let's get down to brass tacks, is like you want to be able to spend about $150 over the first 7 to 10 days of your ads, and then $5 to $10 a day ongoing. So many people are like, you can build your business on $5 to $10 a day. And I'm like, that's true if you know exactly what you're doing. We'll teach in the boot camp that you need to split test your copy, your creative, your audiences to find the ads that you can be running at $5 to $10 a day. And that's the biggest question we get. More conceptually, like someone who wants to grow their list is going to email the list that they're growing.
Amen.
And somebody who has a digital or a email based product. Full disclosure, it's not really for like a local lead gen service. It wouldn't really be for you if you have an e-commerce business that's like more direct to sale ads. This is for somebody who's like, I have a great offer. I want to grow an audience because you believe, and I think it's true too, growing an audience, engaging your audience, and building a relationship with your audience will grow your business in the long run so much faster than trying to do, I call it dollar in, dollar out marketing, putting a dollar into ads, trying to build this perfect funnel, which most of us have been trying for years and it's still not perfect, and trying to get $2 out. If you are someone who believes that there's value in community, audience, and connection, then you would be a perfect fit for this boot camp.
Oh, I love that. And that's why I love working with Zach and promoting his stuff, because I feel like our stuff goes hand in hand. And my people and you watching right now, like your biggest problem might be list building. And I always say, like, time and money, you're going to spend one of them, right? So if you have a little extra cash, I love the startup cost of, yeah, you're going to have to pay probably about $150. We're going to test some copy, and then it's going to be, $5 from there or whatever. Like, I love that. So, how much are you charging for the boot camp itself?
$25.
Yay, I love this answer. Y'all, seriously, this is another reason I love to promote Zach and his boot camp. I've done it a few times already because it is that affordable cost. It is for that person like, okay, I just need to get going. I'm not trying to, like he said, perfect this funnel where I know I'm going to get $1 and I expect to get hundreds in return. Like, I'm going to be doing the work. So I love that you keep this affordable for people. And y'all, even in our Facebook group, the email sound booth, people are always raving about this boot camp and said, yes, this is the thing that finally got me consistent with my leads so that I could use Liz's stuff. Y'all, my headphone just fell out, but we're gonna keep going, y'all. I have baby ears. Even the tiny
I
stuff
love
makes me.
that.
Anyway, y'all, $25. Again, you're gonna get those leads. You already are probably inside email marketing membership. You're already building those relationship, follower, friend, customer, right? Zach's just gonna get you that first step that some of us really, really struggle with. $25. Tell us the dates again.
Yeah, April 28th through May 2nd. We send out a morning email at 9 a.m. Eastern. We do a live Zoom 12 to 1. We record that. We get it up every day before the end of the day. We say 7 p.m. Eastern. Typically it's 5, but Zoom be zooming these days. So we say 7 just in case. And then we're in the Facebook group every single day, Monday through Friday, and we keep it open through the following Tuesday for support and questions.
I love that. Y'all, you already know with my challenges, I always keep things up for just a few extra days. Even with the best intentions, it can sometimes, 5 days take 7 days. So thank you for that, Zach. $25. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you to check out all the details and get signed up so you can get Zach's emails, get the challenge, join the Facebook, get the leads, make the money, all the things. $25. I'm putting that link in the chat right now. Thanks so much, Zach.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So that was Zach talking about Facebook, talking about his boot camp for $25. There's the link one more time in the chat. I'll also put it in the Facebook group, of course. That's coming up April 28th. I'm super, super excited about it. Okay, so we're going to wrap things up. Of course, I want to share some wins and womps first. So win is a win, obviously, and a womp is something that kind of fell flat this week. So I'd love for you to share in the comments your wins and womps. I was saying that my win of the week was right before we hit live on this. My buddy Joey came over and he put up a light. He put up a camera. That's why I don't look as terrible as I normally do. You can kind of see the light in my glasses. You see it? You see it? You see it? She's like, wow, Liz, wow. So things are moving and shaking. That felt like a huge win because Ecamm came out and like did the studio, but all the equipment for the studio didn't come because of a snowstorm. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited that it finally got put up. So shout out Joey. My womp of the week. What did I say my womp was? Literally my second brain here. I don't know. The womp of the week was, that I forgot to tell you guys that I was going live today. Because hence why there's only, 8 of us here is awesome. 9, 10, that's great. I'm super happy about that. But, I want this to be like a big community thing where we hang out on Fridays or whatever day we decide once we kind of get rolling and we aren't so awkward with it. So, yeah, so that was an inception, Janae. That was a video we recorded a couple hours ago. I changed my shirt because Patricia said my armpit really stunk. Side note, like sometimes my hormones are really weird, but only the one armpit stinks. So she was like, I cannot stand you right now. Literally, I cannot stand you, let alone stand by you. So go change your shirt. So yeah, that video was recorded about an hour, 2 hours ago. Yes, Beth, yay, you got a win. You emailed your list after 8 months. 32% of only one unsubscribe. That's awesome, Beth. I'm so proud of you. I'm so celebrating. Hang on, hold up. That was so loud. I bet that burned your ears. I'm sorry. Let's do it again, though. I'm so excited for you. Yay. Patricia, what was a win for you this week?
I got to hang out with Chelsea all week.
Yeah, so obviously she's here. I went to a Survivor party, so she came and hung out with Chelsea. That was so awesome. What was a womp?
Womp, womp, womp. I wasn't home in my own bed.
Okay,
I did see my dog.
Aww.
I miss my dog.
But you got to see your niece.
I did, correct.
And a couple weeks ago, you got to see your nephew.
Correct.
So There we go. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with us. Congratulations to Beth. And even though you didn't put it in the chat, congratulations to whatever your wins were for the week. Make sure you check out today's video on YouTube, the Friday Affirmations, because it's all about celebrating your wins, getting your email marketing going. That's really kind of like my pet project are these Friday affirmations. So make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and we will actually be doing this every 2 weeks on Friday afternoon. I'll let you guys know. I'll put it, I'll make the schedule so you can subscribe, all of that. Thank you so, so much. Love to you all, and I'll see you next week. Bye, friends.